Welcome again to Fantasy Corner, brought to you by CricFan in partnership with Myteam11 and Sports Tiger, a one-of-a-kind fantasy cricket show in which we get two rival fans to do the impossible, which is to put their allegiances aside and join forces to create a combined Fantasy 11 that features players from both their respective nations while being ably guided by our in-house fantasy expert. And speaking of our in-house fantasy expert, we're delighted to be given company once again by Vedant Sharma, who was last seen in Ahmedabad during the India versus Pakistan match and is back with us once again in our studios. Vedant, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot. I think same as you, because the hospitality that I gave you in Ahmedabad, I'm looking forward to the same hospitality on this floor today.
100%, speak no further. You'll be getting the same hospitality. By the way, the combined 11 that we picked for the India versus Pakistan match did remarkably well, didn't it?
Absolutely, because we were expecting nothing less from that, because we did all the analysis that was required, and the 11 players that actually went onto the field for us, that did really well, and expecting no less in this game as well.
So credit to you, credit to Zain as well as Shantanu, who had picked that combined 11 for the India versus Pakistan game. But let's see if the fans who will be joining us today can replicate the heroics. We've got Sanat Prabhu from India joining us, and we also have Alvi Islam from Bangladesh. Sanat, Alvi, welcome to the show.
Hi guys.
Yeah, looking forward.
So we'll kick things off by taking a look at the combined Fantasy 11 picked by both Sanat as well as by Alvi. Of course, these are separate 11s picked by the two of them. So there were 6 names that Sanat and Alvi had in common, and those 6 names are Litin Das, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Shakib Al Hasan, Jasprit Bumrah and Kuldeep Yadav. But there were 5 names where they differed between each other. Sanat went with Shubman Gill, Ravindra Jadeja, Mehdi Hassan Miraz, Mohammad Siraj and Mustafizur Rahman, whereas Alvi went with Mushfiqur Rahim, Najmul Hussain Shanto, Hardik Pandya, R. Ashwin and Shoriful Islam. Vedant, your first impressions taking a look at both their respective 11s?
I think both 11s are looking good. Just a couple of things here and there. I'll start with Alvi this time. Alvi, I believe that you've picked Ravichandran Ashwin, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, I have.
I think playing of Ravichandran Ashwin in that game also is a big question for now, because India is still under the assumption that they want to go ahead with Shardul Thakur, and with the game in Pune, I believe that they will be a little tempted towards going with Shardul Thakur and not with Ravichandran Ashwin. So I believe that you should be doing that change in your Fantasy 11. I think speaking of Sanat, I believe that overall the team is coming out really well. Mustafizur Rahman, I believe that that is a pick that you should think again. We'll talk more about it, but I feel that you should be thinking more towards it, especially because of the conditions, especially because of the batting lineup that India has. Maybe you need to relook upon that, but we need to have a chat more on that.
Absolutely. So good first impressions from Vedant. Of course, there were 6 picks that were in common, but a few differences as well that we have to settle by the end of the show, because of course the objective behind the show is for both our super fans to come up with a combined 11. So let's kick things off with R.
Absolutely.
Ashwin, right? Alvi, you picked R. Ashwin. Could you give us a reason as to why you thought Ashwin should make the cut in your combined 11?
I think Ashwin's been overlooked a lot in the past couple of weeks with the Australia series and as well as the World Cup. He was always in and out, but I think a bowler like Ashwin, who's been doing as well as he has over the past, let's say, 12 years, with his experience, with his variations, with his carom balls, knuckle balls, and just his, I'd say, street smartness in general, I think he'd be a great addition to the 11. And if you would like to play Shardul Thakur, I've already got Hardik Pandya, who's playing as my fast bowling all-rounder. So I think Ashwin brings a bit more variety in the lineup, whereas Shardul Thakur and Hardik Pandya are both slightly similar in terms of nature. They both give you that medium pace. I think Hardik's a bit, he's well heavier on the batting side. But I think Ashwin with his bowling, he would really bring something new, a new flavor into the side, which I think Sanat may have gotten with Miraz. But I think the thing with Miraz and his off-spin is Miraz is more of a line-length bowler, whereas Ashwin is more of a, he'll get more purchase, he'll get more turn, and he'll be able to outsmart the batsman. And we know Miraz has been in great form in the past couple months, but end of the day, he hasn't been able to make that much of a difference with the ball in Indian pitches, whereas I think Ashwin would make a much bigger difference when it comes to fantasy points.
Absolutely. See, I agree to that, but you need to agree to a fact that playing Ravichandran Ashwin in those conditions is not quite sure. even when the skills are there, even when other things are there, as you rightly mentioned, he wouldn't be India's first choice. And if he's sitting out, as good as the player would be, he will still be getting 0 fantasy points.
So Sanath, you had Shubman Gill, Ravindra Jadeja, Mehdi Hasan Miraz, Siraj and Mustafizur Rahman. Why do you think very strongly that these 5 who are not a part of Alvi's list should make the cut?
So first of all, when I made my 11, I considered the fact that the Pune track has always been a batting paradise. And I think that that's how the conditions would be, when the match plays out. So considering that, I have made a batting strong lineup. I mean, I got the top Indian batters in my lineup: Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, and Rohit Sharma. Virat Kohli, obviously, because he has got, I think, 2 centuries and 3 half centuries in the matches that he played in Pune. And I mean, a lot of things will depend on the toss as well. Okay? And so Mustafizur Rahman, because I feel that he has the variable pace with which he balls at, will come in handy at the conditions in Pune, where batsmen will always be looking to attack. And I had an option of going for yet another Bangladeshi seamer or going for Mohammad Siraj. So I went for Mohammad Siraj because of the form that he has been. Because what I like about him is that he always keeps attacking at the stumps, and which sometimes for which he goes for a lot of runs, but that also gives him a lot of wickets as well. And as for Shubman Gill, I think a big century is just around the corner for the talent he possesses and the batting paradise that Pune will turn out to be.
Since you are saying it will be a batting paradise, I believe that it will be more for the Indian players rather than the Bangladeshi players, and that's where the Indian batters will come out really all guns blazing, and I'm not quite sure if Mustafizur Rahman will be that good on that track. So I believe that you need to look at somebody like Mahmudullah in place of him. Maybe he can chip in with bowling as well, maybe batting as well. He gives you those runs, and he did well in the last game as well that he played. So maybe you can see that.
Alvi, okay. What do you make of everything that Sanath mentioned? Because of course there are 5 differences. Sanath explained why he differs with you. What's your response to what Sanath said?
I think just bouncing off your last point, Mustafizur Rahman, he's been in the worst form of his life for the past 2 years, I'd say. So Mustafiz is a massive red flag. He's not playing in my 11, no chance. The thing with him is he's become very complacent, and he's more into playing the franchise leagues and less for the national team. So with him, he's made considerable improvement in the past, I'd say, month and a half, where he's gotten back his rhythm and he's bowling outswingers really well, outswingers to the left-hander. So he was definitely in contention, surprisingly, for my 11 this time. But I had to go with Shariful because Shariful in the past 3-4 months has been unplayable, basically. He's getting the ball to swing both ways, in and out to the left-hander. He's getting his Yorkers right. He's getting his change of pace right. If you saw the England game, Shariful basically started the collapse for England with 2 wickets back-to-back, with Joss Butler and Liam Livingstone. So Shariful, I think, has made really good improvements in the past couple months. And Shariful definitely plays ahead of Mustafiz for me. And with Jadeja, as good as he is, and he's probably going to play as well, but having 2 left-hand orthodox spinners in the side, I feel is a bit redundant. Whereas somebody like what I had mentioned, Ashwin, different kind of bowling, but as you had stated, he might not get a chance to play in the 11. So there is something we can, I guess, discuss on. And the other point, Shubman Gill, as he's been in beast mode basically since the IPL. Multiple centuries, wherever he goes, whatever he touches, he gets chance to gold. So his batting in the IPL was amazing, but since the IPL, he's had a bit of a fall from grace. His only 100, if I recall, was possibly against Bangladesh in the Asia Cup. So Shubman Gill, as talented as he is and as much potential as he carries, I don't see him playing in my 11. And as for in the fantasy team that we're picking, I would play Liton Dash, and I know Liton Dash in how horrible form he is. And the Bangladeshi people are, we're fed up with it. But to be honest, he's always had his best performances playing against India, be it the T20 World Cup last year or the Asia Cup in 2018. Or even the bilateral series at home, which we beat India in. So Liton has always brought his A game against India. So against the run of play, against his recent form, I think Liton could be somebody who could surprise us in the India game.
And Sanath agrees with you as well. Liton Das is a part of his side as well.
Yeah.
Liton Das, I think he scored a half century so far in the tournament.
That's
and
correct.
he typically, ups his game against India. But don't forget that you guys can get involved as well. So send in your Fantasy 11 by connecting with us across all our social media platforms at CricFanTV. And check out our website, CricFan.com, for a chance to win some big and exciting prizes like a customized India jersey or a Samsung smartphone. Now, look, we've already had like some sort of a back and forth between both Alvi as well as Sanat. Given the fact that you guys now both understand where each other's coming from, would you like to make any changes to your respective sides? Ashwin is definitely one of them. Alvi, would you like to replace him with someone else, or do you still stay stubborn with Ravichandran Ashwin in your side?
Once again, if we're looking at the fact of who's playing or not, I would be willing to sub him in for somebody else. Let's say someone like a Siraj, who has been in good form in the past, I'd say 12, 16 months, to be honest.
I think given Vedant's pitch report saying that, Pune might not assist spin so much, Alvi, I think we could perhaps replace Ashwin with someone like a Siraj. Siraj is a part of Sanat's side as well, so I think we have one more common pick. So we could replace...
So the 6 turns into 7.
The 6 turns into 7, but we still have, quite a few bones of contention, 4 to be precise, where there are 4 differences. Now, Sanat, coming to you, after having heard Alvi's side of the story, would you like to make any changes to some of the differences that still remain?
I even gave it a thought that in place of Jadeja, you can probably have in Shanto. If Bangladesh bats first, whatever I've seen of him, he seems good. I mean, those playing conditions will definitely suit his batting style. Probably the one change that I might be forced into make after the toss is that of Mustafizur Rahman,
But I think from 6, we've gone to 8 common picks. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So Najmul Hussain Shanto, that's another common one. And we had R. Ashwin being replaced by Mohammad Siraj, who was a part of Sanat's side, right? So we have 8 common picks, but there are 3 differences that still remain. This is where I think you guys can also chime in. So you guys tell us which ones you agree with, which ones you disagree with. And along with you, Vedant Sharma is also the voice of reason. Vedant, the 3 differences that remain, would love for you to actually put on that guide hat of yours and guide both Sanat as well as Alvi.
I'm agreeing to Sanat more here, especially because I personally feel that Shubman Gill needs to score runs. So I believe that Sanat's choice is really good in terms of that, because he can score runs and he can put the other team under pressure. So maybe Alvi, if he agrees, that is the first change that I would suggest you to make.
It depends who you want them to bring me in for. If you want me to bring in Shubman Gill, who do you propose I get rid of?
And that's up to you, Alvi.
I don't mind bringing in Shubman Gill for, let's say, somebody like a Hardik Pandya. So then we miss out on the fast bowling option, the fast bowling all-rounder. But then if we bring in Shubman Gill and we push him up to opening with Rohit, do you see Liton playing at 4 or 5? Do you see Liton playing at 7? So even if we do bring Shubman Gill in, there's a duplication of skills. So yeah, I guess he comes in for Hardik then.
Brilliant. So Shubman comes in for Hardik in Alvi's side. Now there remain 2 differences that we have to iron out. And Sanat and Alvi, help me with this. So what are the 2 differences that remain between both your sides?
If I'm not wrong, I've got Shariful in and he doesn't. And I've got Mushfiqur in and he doesn't.
Yeah, so I think I agreed that replace my bowler, Mustafizur Rahim, with Mahmudullah. And based on the toss, I might also replace Ravindra Jadeja with Shanto.
Oh, that's fine, because you can definitely bring more than 4 players into the side and make it 5 or 6. That's perfectly fine.
So Mushfiqur, he's got 250s and unbeaten against Afghanistan. So he's been probably our most consistent batsman in the past 3 games of the World Cup. So Mushfiqur definitely plays. Who he comes in for is once again something for us all to work on.
I think Mushfiqur Rahim seems to be a better choice in place of Mahmudullah, especially because of the kind of form he is in. He has scored 1 century against India as well. He has played around 25 one-day internationals against India. And he likes to play against India in the Indian conditions. So I feel that Mushfiqur Rahim should be the first choice if we are picking one of these 2. So I think Mahmudullah should be sitting out and Mushfiqur Rahim comes in.
And Vedant, I think now we're happy with the combined 11 that we have. And I think we can quickly recap the combined 11 decided in conjunction with Vedant by both Alvi as well as Sanat. And the combined 11 reads, we have Liton Das, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Shakib Al Hasan, Jasprit Bumrah, Kuldeep Yadav, Mohammad Siraj, Najmul Hussain Shanto, Shubman Gill, Mushfiqur Rahim, and Shoriful Islam. So that completes the combined 11, but of course we have a couple of pieces to the puzzle that is still missing, which is the captain as well as vice captain picks. Coming to you guys now, Alvi and Sanat, your captain and vice captain picks, given the revised 11 that we have now.
Yeah, I think my captain and vice captain will still be the same. It's going to be Shubman Gill and Virat Kohli. They're going to have a, I don't know, great partnership. Either way chasing or either way they're batting first.
So Sanat, Shubman Gill, your captain, Virat Kohli, your vice captain. Alvi, now coming to you, your captain and vice captain picks.
I'll go with Kuldeep Yadav as my captain. I'd like to see him. I wouldn't like to see him, but I think I see him getting at least 4 or 5 wickets against us. For my vice captain, I'd go with. It's a toss-up between Rohit and Shanto. And in the form that Rohit's been in, I am very inclined to say Rohit, but I'm veering towards Shanto. He's got a big score coming, so I'd rather go with my vice captain with Shanto and my captain with Kuldeep Yadav.
I believe that I agree with the captain for Sanat and the vice captain that Alvi ended up picking. I agree to that as well.
So we've reached an agreement when it comes to the captain pick. Shubman Gill is the captain in both of your sides, but we still see a difference when it comes to the vice captain pick. Sanat, now bringing you in, is that like a place where you would make a compromise when it comes to your vice captain pick? Because Alvi feels strongly about Najmul Hussain Shanto.
Yeah, I agree with Alvi here that, see, my vice captain is Virat Kohli, and the amount of runs that he's going to get on this track, and if you can have Shantu playing similar kind of innings, yes, I think he has the potential. He has a lot of potential to play in those conditions, and which was also the reason I was ready to trade him against Ravindra Jadeja. So yes, I'm okay with Shanto as vice captain.
We have an agreement now, right? So Shubman Gill is the captain and Najmul Hussain Shanto is the vice captain. Jeez, guys, that was easy. I expected some more fireworks there. This is your opportunity to, put forth your opinions as well, however different they might be compared to the choices that Alvi as well as Sanat picked. So why don't we compare like the starting 11 that was picked by both our super fans against the starting 11 that Vedant would have gone with. Vedant, would love for you to walk us through your starting 11.
Okay, so I have 3 wicket keepers, Liton Das, Mushfiqur Rahim and KL Rahul. So I have 3 wicket keepers. I have 3 batters as well, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and Shubman Gill. Then I have 3 all-rounders as well. One is Shakib Al Hasan, then Miraz, and then I have Hardik Pandya. So these are my 3 all-rounders. And then I have 2 bowlers, Jasprit Bumrah and Kuldeep Yadav, with captain being Shubman Gill and vice captain Shakib Al Hasan.
I think we ought to thank our 2 super fans, Alvi as well as Sanat, for joining us on this show. And a big thank you to our resident fantasy expert, Vedant Sharma. And in case you want to pick your combined fantasy team, then download the Myteam11 app and get started playing. And of course, check out all our social media platforms as well. You can find us at CricFanTV and head over to our website CricFan.com for a chance to win some amazing prizes like Cricket 24 on PS5 and a brand new Samsung TV for you to play the game on. I'm your host Anubhav Jain. This was Fantasy Corner and we'll be back again with another episode before India's next encounter. Until then, goodbye and thank you.